Okay, here's what your test is going to look like. I think I'm going to give it to you next Tuesday, and it's stuff you've been working on. Not really necessarily like letters and all that stuff. It's kind of so the first thing it says, use the provided number line to solve. Remember to read the directions. So -3 minus 6. So this is my starting point, so -3. Now if I'm minusing, I move this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm at -9, okay? There's first answer. Okay, -4 plus 5. So this time, again, I always start with 4 and it's negative, so I start over here. And if I'm adding 5, I'm going to move 5 places out this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's +1. Just put one. If it ends up in the positives, just put the number. You don't need to put a plus, but you do need to put a negative. Okay, +8 minus 9. Okay, so I start at 8 and it's positive, so 8's right here. And when I'm minusing, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go this way 9 slots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that takes me to my answer, which is -1. Okay, my next problem is writing 80% as a decimal. Okay, the reason you need to know how to write a percent as a decimal is because that's how you make calculations of the percent. Okay, it's pretty. This one here, number 4, is pretty easy. So I want to write 80% as a decimal that I would use to make math calculations with it. So anytime I see a percent, to make it a decimal, we need to divide the percent by 100. And that's all you do on that one, number 4. So I take 80 divided by 100, and that gives me 0.8. Okay. Okay, next one, write 7% as a decimal. Okay, so again, same thing as over here. To make it as a decimal, I would just divide it by 100. Okay, and that goes anytime you see a percent, 0.07. Anytime you see that percent, you want to divide it by 100 first off. Okay. Now, number 6 and 7, we're going to take it a little step further. Okay. I actually want to find a percent of a number. By the way, I'll put this on the thing. I want to make 6 and 7. I want to make the $200 label and the $40 because everybody can relate to money. I want to find what 35% of $200 will be. So what that means is find what part of the $200 is actually 35% of it. So is it like $10? Is it $20? It's not 35, I can tell you that, okay? You know, it's part of the $200, okay? If you were to give 35% of your money to a friend and you had $200, what amount of money would you give them? That's kind of what you're figuring out, okay? So I'm trying to figure out what money amount that is. So there's the percent divided by 100, okay? So 35 divided by 100 is 0.35. That's not the answer, okay? And then I multiply, okay? I times these two. I converted my percent to 0.35. Now I can multiply it by how much money I have, okay? So 0.35 times 200, and that's 70. So the part you have is $70. Okay, find 4% of $40. Okay, so again, there's the percent. We need to divide that by 100. So I take 4 divided by 100, and that's going to be 0.04. So I need to write that down. Now to find the part of the $40 that accounts for 4%, I need to times. Okay, I need to take that 0.04 I just got and times it by $40. So 0.04 times 40, okay? And you get 1.6. Now that means, so I write 1.6, so that means $1.60. Okay, number 8, kind of the grand finale of the percents. Find the price of something that is $40 with 10% off. So what you do is you take $40 and you need to minus from it. I might even put that there to remind you, okay? You need to minus another money amount from that. Now, how much are you going to minus? You don't know, because we don't know what 10% of 40 is. So there's the 10%. I need to divide that by 100. Anytime I see that percent sign, we're going to divide that percent by 100. So that's 0.1, okay? Now we need to multiply 0.1 times 40. That's 4, okay? So I'm going to times those. So it's $4, okay? So 40 minus 4 is 36. So $36 is how much it costs now. Okay, find the price of something that's $35 with 20% off, okay? So I've got 35, and I'm going to minus from that. To find out how much money we need to minus, we need to divide our percentage by 100. So 0.2. And then I need to times 0.2 by 35. So I need to take 0.2 times 35, and I come up with 7, okay? So I times those, and then it's 7. So 35 minus 7 is 28, okay? So what you're actually doing when you divide the percent by 100 and then times it by the money amount, you're finding how much you get to subtract from your price to make it cheaper. Okay, and then the last one is number 10, write 3 equal fractions of a half. So if you remember that, that's the day you didn't have a calculator, okay? You had a half, a half, a half. Now we need to make 3 new fractions that are actually the same as a half. So what I like to do is I like to times 2 and times 2, times 3 and times 3, times 4 and times 4. Now I could keep going with that. I could do it times 5 times 5, times 6, but I only need 3 of them. So 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. So 2/4, that's the same as a half, because if you get 2 out of 4, you get half of them right. That's 3 over 6, and that's 4 over 8. Okay, now let me know the ones that you think are going to be a hard time remembering, so I can really focus my explanation on those on Monday, okay?